Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to my live. Thought I'd come live just to give some updates with regards to the energy. A lot is happening. Lot of shifts are happening as well. Um, Energetic convergences are taking place. So I just thought I'd come live first and foremost to give an analysis of what's happening at cosmic level, but also information and intelligence that I have received during dream state. Often when I'm connecting up to high councils, when I'm connecting up with spirit, a lot is given to me in the signs, symbols and metaphors. And last night in dream state, and often or not, things are often given to me in that state of being. A lot of information I was kind of inquiring as to what is going on right now with regards to the COVID-19. What is actually happening with regards to certain shifts? What is happening? What are the plans? I was asking quite a lot of questions, so I'm just going to try and go through certain elements of what was happening. So I was up in a high council meeting, fully aware with Horus at my side. And I kept asking, what is it about the COVID-19, the coronavirus? Can you give me information? And every time I asked that question, I was taken into a space of complete and utter darkness. Space and darkness. Every time those words was mentioned, I was receiving a space and darkness. And it is not something that is fearful. I didn't fear any fear or anything. But I was actually given that as a sign. So upon reflection on space and darkness, this is a reflection of the space that many people, many souls are in at this time. So basically, it is a case of taking people into a space of darkness, into a space of shadow, and this is another aspect of what I was being shown. So I then asked, can you describe to me how it is manifested? How did this manifest? And it's interesting because then I was given, like, I was being shown a sunflower and the seeds upon a sunflower, and how things are manifested within that as sacred geometry. I was being shown sacred geometry. So I then asked, are we speaking now about cell formation, i.e. how cells are manifesting? And the answer was yes. It was actually manifesting cells. So I then asked, is this something that is man-made, or something that's been happening over time? So first and foremost, yes, this has been manifesting over time, was the answer that I got. And it is how, it's like the cells are expanding, growing, shifting, changing. And again, it's like then I'm getting the spiral within the sunflower, the middle of the sunflower, how it there is a spiral. So this spiral, so basically the pinpoint, and it's beginning to spiral. So one, I was being shown it being spiral out of control, but also being manifested over time. So I then asked, is this man-made? The answer is yes. A lot of our diseases, a lot of what happens here upon the earth, a lot of it's man-made. A lot of it is a mixture of and reaction of the energies between man and nature and the law of nature and also the sciences. So it's a whole conversion bringing in together. But what I have been shown that this has been something that's been manifested over time. This is something that Spirit's given to me through these signs and symbols. I'm also being shown certain planetary movements that is also reflecting upon what is happening at this now. And it's something that I also shared on Todd Medina's show, that certain time spans with regards to Saturn and Pluto, as they were shifting within the cosmos, also activated certain events and times coming down here on the earth, and it seems to always reflect with regards to the cosmic shifts. So Saturn, for example, there was certain alignment with Saturn and Pluto within Capricorn. That was also manifesting a certain energy coming through down upon the earth. Saturn has also taken a leap from Capricorn into Aquarius. This took place around March 2021. And it was around that time that a lot of the shutdowns were happening on within USA and the UK, definitely in those countries, which are two of the major centres. Interestingly enough, I have been, and I have shared this with you all at certain points, but some of my channelings over the last year, and I know 2 years ago I shared something about China being an epicenter, or that's going to be there's going to be something powerful. I also was sharing last year about the golden harvest, but the golden harvest is not so much about the deaths that are happening at this time, but it's also the testing of hearts. Who's going to come out of this challenge golden? And again, there is a polarized field that's taking place. The polarized field, where people are shifting to one extreme or to the other. People that's within the fear complex, acting from fear and judgment, or are they or there is a group of people that are moving towards love and compassion and community cohesion and supporting unity consciousness. So there is a what you call a split and divide happening right now. So there's a lot of stuff that's actually happening. Another thing that I got was like mutation, and it was I'm getting manifestation over time, soul formation, and stuff like this. I have been told by the councils that I am, and my guidance to you all as well, is to detach yourself from conspiracy theories and disinformation and information, because there are going to be shifts happening over the next coming weeks and months. Lot of truths will be unfolding. Also, what I got received at council level was the status of Mother Earth. The status of Mother Earth at the moment is flourishing. The actual planet is in a process of healing, and this is very vital at this time. Certain events happen to spur things into motion on a wider scale. So obviously with very little cars, very little aeroplane, very hardly any aeroplanes in the sky, so land and sky, it's a reduction of the emissions. Therefore, with the reduction of the emissions, the climate of the planet is actually changing at the moment. There is a respite. Also, the climate and the climate change is now going to be at the forefront, at the hearts of the governments, because this is something that needs to be manifested as well at this time. Because as spirits, and that message was very clear on my live with Todd Medina. This message came through as I was channeling live on Todd Medina's show a couple of days ago. There is a partnership between us and Mother Earth, and Mother Earth and us. And we are called in that partnership of nurturing the planet, nurturing those around us as divine healers. So this partnership must be manifested. It must be realized. So there's a lot happening from higher perspective, and we must not get too weighed down with what is actually happening on the earth in what ifs. We need to be focused on the higher outcome and what is actually coming through on the higher outcome. There are going to be a lot of changes happening. A lot of lessons are unfolding at this time. Certain countries are going to be learning more harshly than others. We are not here to compare countries. Each country has its own different, and this is coming through from Council, each country has its own different challenge. Each country has its economy. Each country has its population, its demographics, its social differences, and so forth. And that in itself, is a unique situation. So therefore we can't compare things, country to country. So each country is managing its own epidemic, the epidemic at this time in a way that it should be, and more countries are going to have more challenge than others. So therefore we cannot be comparing and saying that one country's got it right and the other country's got it wrong. We are not here to be pointing fingers, and this is something that's coming clear from councils. We need to set ourselves up a higher, from the higher thing, not to get ourselves too way down into 3D. So yes, this is some stuff that's coming in from council, and this came through in dream state. Coming on to Pluto, the Pluto retrograde, there has been a shift. As I say, we've had this shift of Saturn transcending into the Aquarius, and again that could be very oppositional. Okay, I know for me it's very oppositional because even on the zodiac, I'm Leo. Aquarius is completely opposite to me. So there is, again, even for me, I can feel the polarization very strongly, and many of us will feel that polarization very strongly, certainly in different streams of society. So what we are being called to do at the moment is to connect with love, connect with compassion in action, and also unity consciousness, because these are the facets that we must connect with in order to facilitate the greater healing that upon the planet at this time. So Saturn is very much karmic. Pluto has gone into retrograde. Not to be treated as a negative, but more as a positive. We have to focus on positive outcomes. So for us, Pluto being in retrograde, it invites us to look upon our shadows. Also, the shadows are being revealed. The dark spaces, the dark areas are being revealed because it's about shining the light. So you have the mixture of Saturn and Pluto, karma and shadow. All this is happening right now. So we are, being invited to look within ourselves. A spiritual concept of us coming inside, we are being invited to look upon ourselves, upon our shadows, and to release that. So a lot of releasing energy is happening. Some of you may feel tired in recent days. I certainly have had a lot of bouts of tiredness, certainly with a lot of the energies, certainly high frequency energies kicking in as well. Today is very high frequency. I'm receiving, and I'm sure you might be feeling it right now. A lot of insurgence of high frequency energy is coming in. So if you are feeling a little bit tired and groggy, it's normal, it's natural. Getting on to Pluto. Pluto in retrograde is inviting us on a transformation. So as we're releasing and letting go of old karmic patterns and shadows and stuff like that, saying, hello, shadow, thank you for the lessons that you've given me. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I now release you. Because you're no longer serving me a higher purpose. So technically, this is what it's about. So as we are evolving, connecting into our highs, into our hearts, we then release more and more. Sometimes this releasing can be a bit of a challenge. And this is why we should be here for each other as well, to support each other. But, this is a process. So the retrograde is a very transformational energy. It's inviting us to work upon ourselves, but also inviting us to transform ourselves. Also, this energy can be very productive in realizing our goals, realizing our abilities. As we're looking more within ourselves, we become more aware of our hidden elements, some attributes that are still remaining hidden in ourselves that need to come to the forefront now. So, stuff that we have had from past lives, whether they be areas of healing or these abilities that are coming into the forefront, we're then able to put that into action. So yes, this is going to be going on for best part of the year. This planetary side. So, there's going to be an awful lot of Saturn and Pluto right throughout this year. But it is something that we are being called now to work upon ourselves in order for us to shift, to evolve, to grow, and get to the next steps. 2020 2 is very much about the harmonization and balance. So we've been put there at the epicenter of polarity. If there is anything that is causing separation consciousness, that is something that we must detach ourselves from. So anything that's at 3D that's going to generate a debate and things like that, yes, we can sit and watch from the stage, but try and not get yourself too embroiled with debates and, you know, dialogues that are happening at 3D. So yes, we are sitting, we are watchers, certainly for light workers whom are working as guardians, you know, grid workers, energy workers, healers, and certainly mediums. I am, you know, as a medium and Akashic Records wisdom keeper, I have been told by my team to step back, detach, okay, because there's a lot of other things are about to unfold. And we just sit there and watch and not be in judgment. We just watch. Sometimes being a watcher, it can be quite entertaining. So, because then as you're connecting up further, you realize there's a much wider field to all this, and you just want to be able to detach yourself from any karmic patterns that are unfolding at this time at 3D level. And I hope that I hope you understand where I'm coming from here. So I just wanted to bring that into the forefront. Some crazy times at the moment. I also working upon life between lives. This is an element, and I again, if you haven't watched a little bit my live with Todd Medina 2 days ago, I spoke a little bit about the soul councils, the karmic boards, the councils, what happens with life between lives. And also with the Akashic records. So with life between lives, each and every soul has a plan. Each and every soul has a plan. Each and every soul comes down to the earth. They plan their dates of birth. They plan their departures. And if you go right within the life between lives aspect of the Akashic records, it's quite powerful. So yes, souls do sit with their soul groups. They sit with soul councils. They're sitting there. They're plotting. They're planning incarnations. These soul councils, they report up to the karmic boards. The karmic board sits twice a year. They sit and discuss the wider plans, the cosmic plans, planetary, and significant incarnations. I'm also aware by through connecting to these elements that all leaders, every single leader has a soul contract to be leading nations, but they also have a special karmic plan and an agreement with the karmic board, because their accountability to the countries are vast, it's wide, it's more, they've got more of a karmic responsibility. So whatever decisions they make, that affects the country in terms of souls, you know, people's lives and stuff like that, has a bearing on the karmic account of that particular soul. But as these leaders, they're actually souls as well. They're evolving, they're growing, part of their evolution. So yes, they do have special agreements. This is something that is not often understood when the mind, by the mind at a lower frequency. So, you know, for a normal day-to-day Joe blogs, they're not quite understanding. Yes, as you go back into spirit world, as you're going right up into the ethers, you know, there are wider plans, there are wider contracts, there's everything that unfolds. So, you know, this is why I'm saying to you guys, allow things to unfold as naturally as it should be, because there are wider things that are about to unfold, and if it's not over the next few weeks or months, you will see this unfolding next year and the year after, because we all know, certainly since for many of you who have been awakening since the 2012 shift, you will see, you know, where you were back in 2012 and how far you've come now. For example, you've changed, your energy's changed, everything's changed. And I always remember when I used to do a lot of stuff on the internet, and a lot of people, I used to read for people on the internet. You got do you have, you know, development groups that you can go to? A lot of people felt a little bit on their own at one point, and I said, well, I went up to Horus. I said to Horus, I said, this has got to change. He said it is changing. He said there's going to come a time that everybody's going to be connecting on the internet, and they don't need to go into physical places when they can be outreaching on the internet, so no one's going to be feeling alone. So, and yes, he was right. So, you know, we're all coming together now, wherever we are around the world, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be growing, expanding together. So this is, you know, I have certainly seen major changes. So this is, you know, a message coming through strongly from Spirit, is to hang in there, you know, because change is around the corner. Do not get too embroiled with, you know, matters that's going to take you into a separation consciousness field. So and this is a very, very strong message at this time, because you know, we got to bring this unity consciousness back into the center point. So I'm just going to bring my Gaia deck out, okay, whilst I'm here, because we're talking about Mother Earth, and I thought, let's just bring the Gaia deck out to see if there's anything else that my team has to say. But I thought it'd be just nice to come live, rather than just keep writing, because sometimes you come live, it becomes a little bit more personal. So, and for those of you who are doing live or thinking of coming live, I'm going to say, just do it. Because a few years ago, if you was to ask me if I was going to do live video, I'll say, no way. Oh, you go, no, I'm not going to do live. I'm not going to get in front of the camera. But now, look, you know, so I'll say, if I can do it, so can you. So, and it's the empowerment word. The empowerment word is very important. So, just do it. Just do it. Oh dear. Right, okay. For some reason I keep seeing Ganesh. Right, one card's just dropped out, and that's the hidden path. So the hidden path is about, it is, right, okay, this is about the hidden path. That's interesting. Marriage of spirit and matter. And that's my trump card, that is. That is actually a trump card for everybody, actually, because as you are evolving above if you go above the 5D, Okay, first that's letting go, letting go. So I'm just going to see what comes out, and then I'm going to formulate a message. So I keep seeing Ganesh, and I know why Ganesh is coming through. Okay, that's interesting. Ganesh. And that is about cutting away all the obstacles, protection and guidance. That's interesting. I knew Ganesh was going to come up. I like going, why do I keep seeing Ganesh? Here we go, another card's dropped. Okay. Achievements. I think these are few. Right, okay, I can see where this is coming through. Oh, okay. This is interesting. I'm getting key cards coming in, so I'm going to pop these into the pot. The dream and reflection. Right. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So. I'm going to put the dream, achievements. That's fine because that gives us a balance of 3 cards each. So what I always do is I'm looking at them now and I'm looking about what needs to happen. So first and foremost, we got letting go, Ganesh here. Okay, reflection and an attachment. There's so attachment is about letting go, restriction and fear. So that's that card here. So, and then we got the reflection, and Ganesh is about the clearing of obstacles, protection and guidance. And then we have the dream, the achievements, and we've got the hidden path, which is the marriage of spirit and matter, and that it's a connection. So basically, what I'm going to do quickly, I'm just going to connect to my team quickly. To see what message they have. Okay, Mother Earth is going through many changes at this time. This great change is affecting many souls in different ways, experiences and outcomes. We come forth at this time to give you great encouragement. For where there is a beginning, there is an ending. And where there is an ending, there is a beginning. Our words of encouragement at this time is that you are surpassing through this change, and this change is manifesting a golden light at the end of your tunnel. It is time, irrespective that we understand many fears and uncertainties that are within many hearts, to release and just to focus upon the positive outcomes. Allow yourself to transition yourself likened to be that you are on a train going through the tunnel, coming through now, fast approaching the other side. It is time to focus on positive outcomes, letting go of all that no longer serves you, to utilize this time of reflection and of contemplation to set forth now your goals, dreams and desires. Take this time to set many things into motion. For when you are on the other side, many things shall be blessed beyond comprehension, as you are evolving and growing in frequency and vibration, manifesting yourselves as fifth dimensional beings. You become attuned and aligned to the alchemy of spirit and matter. Many of you will be experiencing at this time energy, frequencies, vibration, and many of you will also be connecting to us on the other side. The veils are now lifting very much so, and even much so as many souls awaken further. At this time there is a mass awakening taking place upon your planet. Many souls are coming to the forefront now, creating a more unified field of consciousness, community cohesion through love and compassion, and seeking to assist humanity at this time through greater outcomes. It is a time that we must focus and be focused on positive outcomes. And allow the connection of spirit and matter to be made manifest within your hearts. Blessings. Thank you very much. Just focusing at this time upon healing of the planets and of humanity, especially for the families whom are losing a lot of loved ones at this time. Also those whom are losing or facing loss. I'm also want to connect with those who are in hospital and in care homes, and those whom have no one to care for them, who feel lonely and lost. I also want to send healing out, just to take this time for a moment, just to send healing out to those whom we know of at this time. So it is done. Thank you very much for joining me in this sacred space. God bless you all. Have a beautiful day. God bless.